everybody, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsStamp.com. I hope you're enjoying STAMPtember because I sure am. Today I am using the collaborative stamp set from Gina K, and it's a really super gorgeous stamp set. It has snowflakes and trees, an ornament, some mugs for hot cocoa, and some really great greetings. I am going to be focusing on using the trees, and I'm also going to be stamping onto some 49 and Market 6x6 papers. And these are really nice neutrals. They are front and back. You can see there's plenty of pieces to use for this project. I like to make a card where I can do multiples, and I think this is a really good idea where I'm not taking too much time to do my card. So I have my paper down. I'm using my stamp platform from Holtz, and I'll be using the Simons Stamp clear ink and my anti-static bag first onto my paper. I'm going to be white embossing my trees onto this paper. So it's a pretty simple process. I'll be inking up with the clear ink, I'll stamp onto the paper, and then I can use my white embossing powder and cover that really well. I keep mine in a container. And once I have that well covered, I'll use my heat gun and I will heat up that embossing powder. I want to keep a really nice light look to this. So I'm going to be using some Tim Holtz Distress Ink in old paper and using my blending tool. And I'll start blending a light amount of color behind these trees, or actually over these trees, and they will resist. You can see that it's starting to make those trees pop even with that light color. I'll also be using some antique linen distress ink as well, and I'll blend this in some other areas of the trees. Once I'm done doing my blending, I'll show you this really quick close-up. You can see now where the trees pop away from that paper, and then those ink colors really blend in nicely. I'll be adding some snowflakes on top of the trees, and they will actually appear to the back side because the embossing will resist that ink. So I have two placed on my platform, and I'll be using both antique linen and old paper ink, and I'll stamp one in each color. I've decided to add in an additional color, and this is weathered wood, and I'll be adding a snowflake to the left side of the panel. I've cut a 1-inch strip of one of the papers, and I have Merry Christmas on my stamp platform. I'm inking this up with fog ink so I can check the placement onto my grid paper to make sure it's straight. And once I know that it's straight, I can slide my paper just right over. Then I'll add some magnets on each side of the paper to hold it in place. And then I'll be inking this up with the Simons Stamp SPARROW ink. It's a really nice brown and it goes really well with the papers. So I'll ink this up really well and stamp it onto the strip of paper. To finish this card up, I layered my panel onto a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding card, and I mounted my word message up with a little bit of foam tape. And as a final step, I added some Nuvo clear drops to add snowy highlights to my trees. I hope you've enjoyed my quick tutorial on how I've used Gina K's Joy of the Season stamps, collaborative with STAMPtember for Simons Stamp. As always, thanks so much for watching.